Why? Because dealings is something important. The currency of the hereafter is only amal, and people who have rights will come and demand your hajj, your zakat, your salah, your ibadat. They will come and make a demand for this. And when he will not be able to fulfill, he will be thrown into the fire. That's why whatever rights we have, fulfill them quickly. That whatever goods you're doing in this world, you can keep it. If he's leaving the hukuk of people, the rights of people, and he's busying himself in ibadat, that means ibadat that he's actually doing it for the other people. Because why? His ibadat will be turned over to them, and their sins will be turned over to him. This is why in this dawat, we have to change our whole life. Yes, we have to go out, but we have to be, while going out, changing ourselves also. Shaykh Ilyas used to say the purpose of the effort of Dawat is to revive the Sunnah. He said, why? Because we want to establish those people and such people, such a nation, that people can just say and be like, yes, this is the nation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, Umar radiallahu ta'ala, you said that those people who follow customs, they are enemies of Sunnah. He says, I say this is the shara of the hadith, explanation of the hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell them that if their dressing, if their ways of living is other than the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then they'll become the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said to practice upon just permissible things. It's for a person who's sick. When in sickness, you go by permissibility. But a healthy person, he has to abide by exactly what is wanted. So he's giving an example. He said for a believer, he has to live by the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of these qualities to come in our life, we have to be very mindful. That method, that was the method of Sahaba, we have to acquire that method. निकलने में सबसे बुनियादी चीज ये थी कि ये दुनिया की सारी लज्जतों को और दुनिया की चीजों को नफरत की नजर से देखा करते थे। हमारी ऐसा का मंसूब है इस रास्ते में निकलकर अगर दुनिया को मोहब्बत की नजर से देखा तो पहले से ज्यादा दुनिया की मोहब्बत देकर बैठोगे। इसलिए इस रास्ते में निकलने में हम He said what we find in the hidayat. We find in the hidayat of Khulafai Rashidin also the hatred towards the love and the beauty of the things of the world. That's what Shaykh Ilyas rahmatullahi used to say.
If you go out in the path of Allah and you adorn and you look at the word, the things of the world with eyes of love and beauty, then you'll return home with the love of dunya in your heart. The biggest waste of time that is with us is this phone. It has destroyed our muashara, our social life. It has destroyed every aspect of our life. Don't take this in khuruj with you. Turn it off and leave it.
चार मुल्कों में उसने काम किया पूरा साल पूरी जमात में बगैर मोबाइल के गुजारा है जबकि मोबाइल लेते नहीं है
1 year Jamat in 4 countries they spent their time. The whole year they spent without any phone with them. And no amal was wasted in the whole year. There's some people who keep their phones with them in khuruj. Are doing business on their phones, taking care of their customers, doing all of these things. Umar radiallahu ta'ala used to say, if a person goes out in the path of Allah and does business, and then the Prophet, he wants to spend in the path of Allah, and then he dies in the path of Allah, he is not a martyr. A shaheed, a martyr, a person, a shaheed.
अल्लाह के यहाँ उसके लिए अजर है और जो आदमी इतना दुनिया के लिए तो उसको दुनिया मिल जाएगी। मैं आगे साथ कर रहा हूँ कि यकीन के साथ अपना वक्त रास्ते में निकलने में यकीन के साथ वक्त लगाएं। मोबाइल का इस्तेमाल है हरगिज़ ना करें, बल्कि तो दुनिया के बारे में तो बड़ी सख्त हदीसें हैं। फरमाया हर मुसलमान जहन्नम में जाएगा जो कुल कदर है मैं सोचता हूँ इससे।
I'll come back to this portion. He's talking about picture making. He said that in the hadith, he said, first he's saying, leave your phones. Do not take your phones with you. It is a complete waste of time. And he's saying, this picture making, kullu musawwirin.
ज़माना बदलेगा और नए नए तरीके ईजाद होंगे। लोग कहेंगे वो हराम था ये हलाल है, वो नाजायज था ये जायज है। हदीस में फरमाया एक ज़माना आएगा कि लोग हराम को हलाल कहेंगे, एक कहकर ये वाला हराम था ये वाला हलाल है। इसलिए हदीस के अल्फाज है हर मुसल्ली जहन्नम में जाएगा। तो इसलिए ताज़ी से अर्ज़ करता हूँ कि अगर आप हज़रात शुरू में फरिश्तों की सोहबत चाहते हैं और फरिश्तों के साथ रहकर तरबियत चाहते हैं और उनकी वाली इजाज़त सिफा पैदा करने जाते अमल के लिए तो फिर अपने आप को तसावीर से बचाना होगा। ये बहुत जरूरी बात याद कर रहा है।
He said, leave these phones, do not take them along with you. And he went further ahead. He said, especially this picture making. He said, this picture making, he said, the hadith is clear. Kullu musawwirin fin nar. Every picture maker is in Jahannam. He said, subhanallah, he said that people today, no, that is haram and this is halal. No, that was halal and this is haram. He said, no, the hadith says a time will come and people will say, no, this type of haram was haram, but this is okay, this is halal. Even though both of them are haram. So he said, if you want that in your khuruj, you have companionship of angels, please, for Allah's sake, abandon these pictures, abandon these mobile phones. Basically, the hadith mentions that a time will come where people will make the haram and try to make it into halal. That version of it was haram, this version is halal, even though they're equally haram. People take pictures in love. The people do a lot of bad things for the sake of love.
वो मोहब्बत की वजह से होती। नूह अलैहिस्सलाम की कौम में 5 नेक लोग थे।
Nuh alayhi salam's people, there was 5 pious people in them.
तो 5 लोग थे जो कुरान ने नाम जिक्र किए हैं।
Quran had mentioned their names.
तो शैतान ने सलाह ये दिया कि अपने बुजुर्गों की तस्वीर बनाओ।
So Shaitan came to them and he said, make pictures of your pious people.
वहाँ से खुदा और ये तस्वीर और परस्ती की।
From there, the idol worship has begun.
उस तस्वीरों के बनने के बाद उन तस्वीरों के मुजस्समे बने और पूजा शुरू हुई।
After the pictures were made, sometime later idols were made and then worship started.
आपको मालूम होना चाहिए।
So you should know.
अल्लाह वालों की तस्वीरों से दुनिया के अंदर कुछ परस्ती की खुदा हुई है।
It is through the pictures of pious people that idol worship has come into the world. Our khuruj is to give a practical dawat to people. Our walking, our amal, our eating. People should be able to say, these are people of dawat, these are people of iman. In the time of Sahaba, wherever the Jamat used to pass, people used to bring iman just by looking at them. Save yourself from useless talk. They take away the nur of amal. The effect of amal goes away because of useless talk. We should have no conversation of those topics that there's division in the ummah. Whether it's masail, whether it's anything, don't discuss them amongst yourselves. Umar radiallahu ta'ala used to say, if it was not for dawat, teaching and learning and ibadat, I wouldn't like to live in the world. He said, our khuruj is only these things as well. Dawat, teaching and learning, and ibadat. Other than that, we have no amal in our khuruj. In your travel, being punctual with every sunnat, teaching and learning, move like this in every place. Even through travel, the real sunnat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to give dawat to the common people. In one of his travels, he gave dawat to one Bedouin, and a tree and came and gave testimony to his dawat. So even in our travel, we should be new to people. And whoever gets ready, prepare and make arrangements for them to go out in the path of Allah also during your travel. Make effort. Even during travel, be punctual with your salat and nawafil. He said, don't pray your salat such at train stations or different stations where other people are bothered. And no point in our travel should people experience hurt because of us. Save yourself from those from things which cause harm to other people. For those people that encroach the pathways, there's no jihad for them. There's no reward of jihad for them. He said, our work. He said, as soon as you go to the masjid, bring the imam, the muezzin, whoever is there, make them sit with you in the mashwara. He said, if there's no local person, wait for them. Why? Because local people to be in your mashwara when you get to the masjid is of extreme importance. What is the condition of the locality? Only the local people can tell you, nobody else can tell you. Wherever you go, take the local people along with you, make the local people your guides, and visit every person. Amumi Gush, common Gush amongst the Awam, Khususi Gush, special Jawla amongst the Ulama, and make Wasuli Jawla.
और खुसूसी गश्त इन सारे गश्तों का हमें इस्तेमाल करना है हर फर्द को दावत देकर
We have to make sure we make proper arrangement for all of these types of jawla and to bring every Muslim to the masjid, giving dawat to every individual. The other important thing, wherever you go, go as a host, don't go as a guest. You should make full arrangement of your food in advance. Take extra expenditure with you in this path. Wherever you go, take a big dastarkhan and make your dastarkhan big for the people to come and sit.
आजकल मुसलमानों में माल से खर्च करने का शौक है, दावत देना नहीं है। और मैं आपको दावा कर देता हूँ कि खैर के कामों में माल खर्च करना दावत अल्लाह के बगैर खिलाफ सुन्नत है। इसलिए हमें चाहिए कि इकराम के साथ साथ उन्हें दावत भी दें, क्योंकि दोनों काम ऐसे लाजिम तो लाजिम है।
He said with this ikram we should also be giving dawat. He said unfortunately today people have the desire to spend money but they don't have desire to give dawat. People have desire to spend their money, but they don't have desire to give dawat. He said, I swear by Allah, to spend money on people for hidayat without dawat is not sunnah. Spending money without doing dawat, it is not sunnah. He said, he's repeating the same thing, but he added one more thing. He said, giving dawat, spending money on people without giving them dawat, this is not from the life of sunnah. This is not from the sunnah life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from his methodologies. He said, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, while spending on people, used to give them dawat, so the love of deen used to be established in their hearts. Today we're spending money on people, so the love of money is being established in the hearts of people, but no love of deen is coming. Stay in a masjid as long as it takes to establish the 5 amal in those masjid. Show them how to do the local effort in the masjid. Wherever the Jamat goes, take the local people. Show them how the effort inside the masjid happens and how the effort outside the masjid happens. So keep some local people in the masjid while the amal are happening in the masjid, and take some local people outside.
उस मस्जिद के अंदर 5 आमाल जिंदा हो जाए, बचरे होने लगे, जमातें निकलने लगे, गश्त होने लगे.
So the stay in the masjid is to establish all the 5 amal. The 5 amal of the house, these to be established in the masjid.
और किताबी तालीम, जैसी बात का मुज़ाकरा और औरतों को अल्लाह के रास्ते में निकलने के लिए तरगीब और तस्कीन और ये का मसला, ये 5 आमाल निकलने वाली जमातों की जिम्मेदारी है कि हर जगह ये आमाल कायम करते हुए काम करें. चाहे एक मस्जिद में आपको हफ्ते छोड़ना पड़े, 10 दिन छोड़ना पड़े, कोई गलती नहीं है किसी मस्जिद से निकलने की. ये जो उसूल बन गया है कि 2 दिन 3 दिन ठहर जाओ मस्जिद में, ये कोई उसूल नहीं है. हम बक़दर ज़रूरत मस्जिद में क़याम करें, जब उस मस्जिद के अतराफ़ के महलों में सारा काम हो जाए तो आगे बढ़ जाए. इस तरह काम करते हुए, काम जमाते हुए हमें अपने वक्त पूरा करना है.
These 5 amal of the house and also the amal of ta'aleem, the amal of Quran, the halaq of Quran, the muzakara sifat, the tashkeel, the mashwara, it is the responsibility of the Jamat that as they're making effort to establish all of these amal. And as long as it takes, whether it's 1 week, whether it's 10 days, whether it's more than that, spend it to make sure that you establish these amal. He said there's no such rule, 2 days, 3 days, and the Jamat has to go on. He said there is absolutely no such rule. For as long as it takes to establish these amal, stay in that masjid.
ታዲያ ስናደርግ ደግሞ የመቃሚ አህባቦችንም ከኛ ጋር ማሳተፍ መቻል አለበት። ይህን ታዲያ ለማስረዳት ለሰዎች አለ በስራ በተግባር ሰዎች ማስረዳት መቻል አለበት።
Take out cash, immediate Jamats from every place. Our going out is to take people out. Our going out is to take people out.
इतना जल्दी सड़क की आग से निकाला जाता है, इससे ज्यादा जल्दी हमें लोगों को उनके गाँव उनकी मेहनत से और उनकी बुराई और गुजरात के माहौल से उनके वहाँ से निकालना है। इस पर पूरा जोर दें आप।
The way you take person out of a fire, as quickly as that, try to take people out in the path of Allah from their environments of sin. If the Jamat is not making effort to take people out in the path of Allah, they're leaving one half of the effort of Dawat.
इसका पूरा एहतमाम करें कि हर जगह के साथियों को बाहर के मुल्कों के लिए निकलने पर आमादा करें।
Wherever there's old workers, 441 brothers, make their tashkil to go out to foreign countries with all the fadail of spending money and making sacrifice. Put it in front of them and prepare them to go to foreign countries.
मुफ्ती लेकिन जब मुफ्ती जमात होता था गाँव साथ लाल मार्ग में जमात वाला हम लोग ये काम नगर के मुफ्ती जमात होता तो रखा कर दो ये भी लोगों ने कहा ये होता था कि जिन्ना से और मस्त तो नाम ना रखना मुफ्ती जमात खाना होता कान मुफ्ती में होता चलो जी तरह मादरस में चालान रखना ये होता था कि वन नहीं आलामा ना भैया मस्जिद भैया के पानी पर मस्जिद मिल मादरस मुफ्ती जमात मस्जिद एक टुकड़ा नहीं होता निकलता हम जाओगे तो मस्जिद से बयान नहीं है मिलकर और निकलता नजर ना सरोज खान तो ये किया है ये बात करो आओ तो सरमालक में बाल मंगल लड्डू तो मगर ये बाल मंगल ये मिलता तो वन नहीं आलामा वन नहीं अमर सरोज सारे कामों में अल्लाह ताला की मदद मुझसे जब तक रहेगी जब तक हमने आपस में इज्तिमाइयत रहेगी और इज्तिमाइयत अल्लाह की कसम उस वक्त रहेगी जब तक हम इसकी इताअत रहेगी। अगर अभी की इताअत नहीं है,
these are all of these things we can accomplish if there's collectiveness, and the collectiveness can only be if there is itaat, obedience of the Amir.
आपको चाहिए कि अपने अमीर की इताअत करें।
You have to be obedient to the Amir up and until he does not ask you to make kufr and does not ask you to leave your salat.
जहाँ तक अमीर की हुक्म न हो वहाँ तक आपकी जिम्मे अमीर की इताअत करनी।
Up and until these two things are not commanded, it is obligatory for you to be obedient to the Amir.
ये लगाए गए हैं आप हज़रात उनकी इताअत के साथ और उनकी फरमाबरदारी के साथ चलें।
Whoever has been made the Amir, it is your job to be obedient and listen to what they're saying. Upon this is the promises of acceptance and the help of Allah. Upon itaat.